The ending of 2018's God of War gave developers a lot of room to work with, so it's no surprise that sequel involving Ragnarok is already underway. Fans of God of War were treated to a surprise at the end of the PlayStation 5 showcase when it concluded with a brief teaser trailer of the next installment in the long-running franchise. Although the clip didn't provide a lot of insight into what players can expect from the highly anticipated God of War sequel, it promises that players won't have to wait for very long, as the game is set to debut in 2021. The new God of War teaser didn't provide any hints as to what the next-gen graphics may look like or what familiar faces may make a return. But Kratos' deep voice was unmistakable in the background dialogue. It appears the Greek god was speaking to his son, Atreus, as he prepares him for what's to come next. The time draws near. You must prepare yourself, Kratos says. Even more telling, the God of War teaser then ends with the words "Ragnarok is coming" illuminated on the screen, implying the next God of War sequel will continue to explore Norse mythology. It adds 2021 before the video fades to black, confirming that gamers will only have to wait another year before the game hits shelves. The ending of God of War provides a lot of insight into where the future of the series could go next, and given that there's so much to work with, it's unsurprising that Santa Monica Studios is already gearing up to release a new God of War only 2 years since the previous game's release. Throughout the game, it was implied that Ragnarok, the final battle between the gods and forces of evil, ultimately leading to the destruction of the Norse gods, was on the horizon. At one point, after Baldur dies, for instance, Mimir commented that there would be snowfall for 3 years before the onset of Ragnarok, and considering God of War released in 2018 and the next sequel will come out in 2021, the timeline perfectly adds up. With Ragnarok being the end-all be-all of battles, players can expect central Norse gods like Odin and Thor to play an important role, which makes sense given how heavily they were referenced in the 2018 game. It's also been implied that Kratos may meet his fate in the next game. When the father and son reach Jotunheim at the end of God of War 2018, they're met with a variety of murals that not only tell their stories so far but also predict what will happen in the future. One of the paintings shows Atreus holding Kratos as he appears to take his last breath. The image is surrounded by ancient Norse runes that, when translated, appear to say death, father, mourned and betrayed. Not only does Kratos' death seem to be foreshadowed, but the mural may also be implying that Atreus will have something to do with it. Even more telling, however, the murals reveal the Atreus is actually Loki. In Norse mythology, Loki is depicted as a trickster who is eventually adopted by Odin. The boy may somehow be convinced by Odin to betray his father, thereby leading to Kratos' death and Atreus, aka Loki's, acceptance by the Norse gods. Of course, it remains to be seen exactly what the new God of War game will include,